Hey guys, sorry that I couldn't be there with you. I'm actually traveling, and I told Stephanie and Lindy that I would send you guys a quick video on our journey with essential oils and how we got using the oils. So let me back up to the very beginning. My husband Adam grew up in Kauai. He was an asthma, allergy, respiratory kid from the get-go, and ever since he can remember, he's been on inhalers. And so everything with those type of kids, any cold, any virus always goes respiratory. So he had a few bouts growing up with pneumonia, bronchitis, all that kind of stuff. And fast forward, they moved to the mainland and grew up in Southern California, where he surfed every day. And he was in the water often, but kind of chronically sick, always fighting something, especially in the winter months, October probably through May. It wasn't uncommon for him to be on 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of antibiotic just to keep him out of the hospital. So when he was 27, we were pregnant with our second child, Micah, and I had a 19-month-old at home. We were, I was like in the eight and a half months going into the 9th month of being pregnant, and he had been sick longer. My husband had been sick longer than normal, which wasn't alarming. This time he had been on 3 rounds of antibiotic, and he kept spiking high fevers, 103, 104, pushing 105. Been on 3 rounds of antibiotic. He was struggling to breathe. So they finally decided to do a chest x-ray. And what they found was his right lung was completely black, and it was dead. I mean, there was no blood flow. So he was basically pooling infection. I need one of those selfie sticks so I don't have to hold my arm up. But when they found that, they never had seen it in somebody that young, first of all, and it was likened to emphysema at end of life. So there was no hope for saving that lung. And he had a big team of doctors. He got second opinions in Denver with the leading lung specialists in the country, and everybody agreed to have it removed. So he did. And during surgery, they lost him on the operating table, and he then spent a whole week in the CVICU where they lost him again. The lung couldn't support his breathing. So fast forward a few more years, and he recovered. It was a slow recovery, and has been told forever he has to be on inhalers and steroids if he wants to breathe basically. So he at the time was on 4 inhalers, 2 nasal sprays, and then an oral steroid as needed, which was often, honestly. And then fast forward to 3.5 years ago, he went in for a routine check. They check him every 4-6 months just to make sure that everything is good, and that they don't think what happened with his right lung will happen to the left, but they aren't sure, and they still don't know. They tested it, it wasn't cancer. I suspect, because I know they did some different type of testing, but because he was a surfer and in the water all the time, I know there was talk about something could have aspirated into the lung, whether it was a particle or a bacteria or something. And there's so many things in our oceans that we don't know about. So I think it was just a fluke thing. So, so 3.5 years ago, he went in, routine check. They check all his levels, they get blood work, they do all that stuff. And at that time, they found that he had an elevated liver count. So they had him go see a team of liver specialists, and they decided to do a liver biopsy. Okay, hi. Sorry, a call came in. Okay, what they found was that he had advanced stage liver disease, and that his liver was full of the steroids, the inhalers. Your body doesn't break those down, so they were storing somewhere. So for him, they were storing in his liver. So his team of liver specialists said, you can't keep taking inhalers, but pulmonology team said you have to. If you want to breathe, you have to. So we were kind of caught in this world of no teams talk to each other. We kind of had to figure it out on our own. During all that diagnosis, they gave him a life expectancy of 40, and then told him that he would have to have a liver transplant. So we kind of went down that route, and then we're just in a holding pattern. And then during that time, we went back to his primary physician, who had looked over everything. You know, you lose sight of your primary doctor sometimes when you're in the world of specialists. So it was her that actually had asked if we'd ever heard of essential oils. And I tell everybody, I thought like 3.5 years ago, I thought it was like fatty fish oils. You know, we hear fish oils, so I didn't know essential oils. So she kind of pointed us down that direction and helped us and got him on that path. So we started with a few of the oils, one being Breathe, respiratory oil, and actually within 3 days he came to me and he's like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I actually can breathe better with this 1 drop of oil than I can with all my inhalers. So I thought he was crazy. I thought it was placebo. When I first got the oils, my husband thought they were snake oils or voodoo or something like that. But when you've kind of gone down that route, you're open for anything to try. So from that day on, the 3rd day, we went back to his pulmonologist, who told us there was absolutely no way. You cannot replace inhalers with essential oils. I started bawling, and he agreed to monitor Adam and said, if at any time you need it, go for it. Use your inhalers. Very confident that he would still need them. And it's been I think August was 3 years that he has been not taken one inhaler, no nose spray, not one antibiotic, nothing. He's had 1 sinus infection in 3.5 years, which for somebody like that is huge. And so we kind of scream from the mountaintops about these oils. They're natural. They work with our bodies, not against them. There's nobody, you know, making them. They're just distilling them. They work amazing. And so with 4 kids, we use everything, oils, everything. My kids don't have anything synthetic on them, nothing going into their bloodstream. And I feel like in today's day and age, we got to give our kids the best shots we can with not having harmful chemicals and all that. So that's kind of my story. I wish I was there to talk more, but Lindy and Stephanie will take good care of you. Bye.